This looks like the cup of a carpenter. You have chosen wisely. On the other hand, he chose poorly. Ah, blow it out your ass, Thrawn. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight, I'm taking a look at the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Hasbro The Star Wars Black Series Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, there's not going to be a packaging portion of this review because I usually have to pack all my figures in my backpack to get them home. I don't dig on checking baggage. I don't like mailing stuff out of San Diego and then me beating it home on top of the cost. So I just open it up, stuff it all in my backpack, throw away the packaging. But hopefully right here I'll be showing the promotional pictures for the packaging. It's a beautiful package. It's nice. It's grand. It's over the top. It's a Comic-Con exclusive. But man, there's a lot of wasted space in there. It showcases the figure and the accessories fine, but man, there's stuff up here, big empty cardboard space. There's one at the other side. It's up there, down there. So it's cool. I appreciate it, but it's just between me and the figure. So in the trash it goes, and here's the figure. Now looking at the sculpt here, it's a great looking figure, and just like most Black Series figures, it's all original sculpt. He's got the rank insignia, he has the double code cylinders on the sides, he has the epaulets up on his shoulders. The wrinkles are different from other figures, and then of course there's the holster and the belt. Even though it looks similar to previous figures, no. And then paint here is a little bit sloppy in places. I mean, mostly it's white, with the black boots, the black belt, silver buckle, but when you get down to the tiny details like the rank and the code cylinders, there's a little bit of slop there, and I'll get into that here in a minute. Get up to the head, specifically the face, and oh man, he comes across as such an asshole, which is good because that's how I think of Grand Admiral Thrawn. It's smug, it's haughty, and then paint up on the head, it's all nice, it's all where it almost needs to be, but there are a couple of places here and there. Right above the ear, I think it should come down to the ear. On this side it does, and as I was looking at it a minute ago taking pictures, I thought, why does he have a pointy ear on this side? But it's not. It's a regular ear, but it's just not painted down to it. And then his eyes are painted looking a little to the right, which is cool. They're both looking in the same direction, so I consider that a win in my book when it comes to action figure eyes. And it gives them kind of a side shift look, kind of adds to the smugness there. But get down to the body. They didn't put the silver behind the rank insignia. I think they said something about that at the Star Wars Celebration, that it shouldn't be white, it should be silver, that they didn't fix that for the actual release. At least here, they may fix it for the general release. And then the colors on the rank are kind of shifted to the right. You can see the blue coming around the corner, whereas the yellow is kind of missing the buttons right there. And then on top of the code cylinders, there's just a dot of blue to add something to them above the silver, but it kind of missed. You can see it on the white a little bit and a little bit right there. It's almost like the whole tampo was kind of shifted to the right, if this was all the same thing, you know, everything was just slightly that way. You can see it on the silver here too. I just noticed on these little arrows on his collar, it's all shifted to the right. And I don't figure all of them are like this. Of course, Robo Luck, mine's going to be a little bit screwballed. Now getting into the articulation, there's a ball on top of a hinge at the neck going up into the head. He can look up really, really well. He can not really look down because of the collar there and how his chin is just sculpted down. A little bit of tilt, but it doesn't really stay there. It kind of snaps back to neutral position, and then swivel. Hinge and swivel at the shoulders, comes up 290, rotates around, but it kicks out because of the uniform look here. Hinge and swivel at the elbow, comes up, well, past 90. That's actually not a bad range of motion there for that type of joint. And then it swivels. Hinge and swivel at the wrist. You have hinge, swivel. Ball joint at the belt at the bottom of the torso. Get forward a little bit, get back, get side, rotation. The skirt isn't the softest material in the world. It's a little bit thick because it doubles up on itself right there, but you can get the leg up to almost 90. Back, out to the side, not bad at all. There's a swivel at the thigh. Double knee comes nearly all the way up. Hinge at the ankle, goes back, comes forward. Good range. Even with wrinkles right there, it's because they cut out for range right there. And then forward facing pin for rocker. Now for accessories, that's where this release is going to be set apart from the general release later. It comes with a bunch of cool accessories. And that was really the selling point for me, were all these cool accessories, even though I have no clue where I'm going to put them. First up, he comes with his pistol. I think this is a unique sculpt for Thrawn. It's kind of pointy, it's got a nice sculpt to it, and it's a little bit of metallic silver. I kind of see a wash to it, but that may just be my eyes playing tricks on me because, you know, when you look at something metallic, it's kind of hard to tell. Now that easily goes in his hands. You just do the old push and rotate onto the trigger finger. He holds it good. I kind of wish this was an up and down joint, but what you gonna do? And then he also has a holster on his belt that slips right into it, and that holds pretty good. And then we get into his trophy room. First up, I'm going to go with the biggest one, and that's kind of the mantelpiece of the, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, the Ysalamiri. In the books or comics, I remember these being, they shut down the Force in Jedi or other Force wielders. But this is from the new continuity, the Rebels cartoon, where it's kind of just an homage to that. And it's a cool little piece. It's got the globe in the middle. It's got nice green and darker green paint apps on it, some silver. And it almost seems like the whole thing is in separate pieces, but it doesn't come apart. You can probably rip it apart. I think right here, the little guys off their podiums, the globe off this, but I like it like that. No idea where I'm going to put it, but it looks cool. And then we get to two podiums with trophies on top of it, and one of them is a Kalikuri. I remember this episode where Hera wants to break in and steal this back because it belongs to her family. That's as much as I remember, but a cool little callback to that episode. And then I don't remember this from any episode, but looking around online, I guess this is a Kyber crystal. Again, nice sculpt sitting on top. I call it my fifth element piece or the matrix of leadership. You can work either way, whatever you want to use it for. And then for those, you can pull the pieces off the podium if you want just the podium, or if you want to make your own, put them on the stand, whatever you want to do. It works cool. And that worked out really well for me because I stuffed these in a backpack, so I got to break it down. He also comes with a lightsaber, a trophy. Going back and reading up, I believe this is Depa Balaba's lightsaber. I don't know how it fell into his hands. And then I don't know if I pronounced her name right, but roll with it. Just go with it. We're just having fun here, looking at a toy. Nice little sculpt. I believe it's unique to this piece right here. It's a little bit thin below the emitter. I have kind of a bend to it, but I should be able to heat it up and straighten it out. And then the paint, the little gold, the darker paint on it, it's a good looking piece. He comes with Commander Gree's helmet. I had forgotten in the movie until VB told me that he actually gets his head cut off. I remember now with the Yoda scene. This helmet is actually different from the one that came with the Toys R Us exclusive Commander Gree. That one is silver where it's white here, but you can't actually switch it out, because it's meant to go over a head. And even though I haven't looked at the Commander Gree figure in front of a camera yet, it's just a regular ball joint, so you can't switch it out. That's on top of this being larger than that, but I'll take a closer look at that when we get to Commander Gree. But it's a nice little piece for being a trophy, and maybe when Rex comes out, you can have that head, you can pop it onto Gree and then put this over, but I still feel like this is big. If Rex's helmet goes over his head, is it going to be large compared to Gree and the other clones? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. There's the Jedi Temple Guard helmet. This one's a little bit more plain, but it is an all-new sculpt, and the paint apps on it are pretty nice. I like the gold. I like how clean it actually is. And surprisingly, you can put this on Kanan's head. And again, I remember this from an episode where he's at the Jedi Temple. It goes on, it looks good, it fits well. You can almost get his eyes straightened out. If you mess with it, have him looking up a little bit, you can have him looking out of the eye holes even. So, cool little callback on Hasbro's part. And then finally, this little cup. I don't know if it actually shows up in the cartoon, but this is pretty recognizable from another movie franchise. And this is from Indiana Jones. It's the Holy Grail. For what it is, it's a nice little sculpt. It has extra little paint work for some aging to it. And you know what? It's cool. But now I need an Indiana Jones to go along with it. What? For comparison, here he is with director Krennic. And looking through the viewfinder right now, Krennic doesn't look happy at all. I don't know, he's got that head kick. I may put him on the shelf like this. Looking at these, you can see that no parts were reused between the two. The pants are different, the boots are different, the tunic, everything is different. And then here he is with Hux, and again, as you can see, no reuse. Thrawn is taller, he's more smug, he's more of an asshole than Hux, if you can believe that. So at the end of the day, I'm super happy to have this figure. Unfortunately, I never read any of the books way back when Thrawn actually debuted, and then those stories surrounding that. Even the new book, all I know him from really is Rebels, but I always knew about the character. I always knew, even from looking at pictures or comic covers, that kind of thing, I knew he was a badass. It's a striking figure. It's another Imperial commander. It's not just a faceless trooper. He's in charge, and it definitely shows. Yes, the paint could be a little bit better, and when it comes out in the regular line, I'll probably look around to see if they fixed any of those problems. I'll be able to look at it before buying it, because when you're going through the Hasbro Toy Shop line, ooh, it's hectic. You gotta get through, you grab your shit, you go. And I was just happy to get through the line in the first place. But really, I bought this for all the accessories. Again, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but it's nice to have them. Someday I'll have the palatial Robo Mansion, and I'll have rooms dedicated to dioramas and backgrounds and different photo op places and display spaces. It'll be that toy display museum that we all dream of someday. And there will be an office with Thrawn sitting back with his feet kicked up on the desk or something. That'd be cool. But until then, these are going to go in a box. Thrawn will go on the shelf, smashed in with all the rest of them, and I'll keep on dreaming of the Robo compound. And just remember, don't go paying super high prices for this unless you, well, unless you really need the accessories. This is coming in the main line. I don't know what's coming with that one. He may have the pistol, and more than likely it'll just be that. But if you're just wanting a Thrawn, hold off. He's coming. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on Fwoosh.